Hey,
Hello.
what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Love to wake up and first thing just make a big pot of coffee and turn on the TV and watch the Garfield movie. That's how I like to start every day.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Especially Mondays, am I right?
no, I hate those, James.
Well, I know. So don't you like to wake up and watch the Garfield movie, and when the Garfield cat says he hates Mondays, you're like, haha, a kindred spirit, someone who understands.
I feel so seen. Oh man, why does the cat hate Mondays? He doesn't have a job.
Yeah, right?
How is a Sunday for the fat orange cat different than a Monday?
Or any other day for that matter.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? We're not here to find that out.
Maybe it's just because on Sundays, like, he's got more panels in the newspaper, so he doesn't like going back to that 3-panel format on Mondays. He wants to be able to say more witticisms about lasagna.
That's so terribly meta. Oh, I like to be in color. I'm an orange cat. On Mondays, back to black and white. So much work to remove the paint from fur.
Yep.
I like the idea of a Joker from Batman scene where Garfield's like wiping off the orange paint and it's just all white underneath, just white newspaper underneath there.
Ugh.
I was the newspaper cat all along, he says.
It was me.
It was me, Garfield. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a glass of water because I can already feel my voice getting a little bit raspy. So I will be right back.
Okie doke.
I've returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. Now you're wearing a shirt that says "Dear Evan."
Yeah.
Who's Evan?
It's a musical that Bess and I saw in New York. It's called Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, and you liked it so much you got the musical. I went and saw a musical in New York City, and all I got was a stupid T-shirt.
Yep. Well,
See
I
you guys.
didn't. I also got to see the musical, but
Yeah, but you don't get to keep that. That's just an experience. Once that's over, it's like it didn't happen. Basically, a T-shirt is forever.
that's true. Yeah.
Experiences are fleeting and pointless, but possessions
Those are forever.
You know, those last forever. You'll never get sick of them, or they don't break. Your relationship with them never changes.
Yep.
They don't decrease in value.
Yep. They'll be buried with you. They'll
It's like
accompany you to the afterlife.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be buried in your tomb with all of your possessions, all of your many bowls and ceramics and golden earrings,
Mm-hmm.
and servants and horses, etc. And then you'll die, which will just be like a brief sleep before you wake up and get to, I guess, just chill in there with all that stuff.
Yeah, party room.
Yeah, you get to just chill. It's like the original man cave.
Mhm.
Well, James, now before we've already discussed the Garfield movie, assuming we didn't cut that. That is the movie that we're here to repair today.
Yeah.
I guess I should do the intro to the podcast, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Should I do that? The thing we do every single time?
Yes.
Well, I'll do that. Hey, welcome to Movie Improvie.
Hello.
Hello. This is the world's first and foremost film repair podcast. I'm your film repair. I'm your good film repair boy, Film Stressman.
Did you forget what you usually call yourself?
Well, last week I said powerful cinema mind, and then I don't know, it fucked up my rhythms.
I'm your executive film form, James Kettler.
Hello, film form, James Kettler.
Bleep bloop.
Yep. Yeah, so we're repairing the 2004 mistake known as Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think before we dive into this entree, this big old plate of lasagna, known as the Garfield movie, maybe we should warm up with a little appetizer of some Katie Chow. A little something I like to call trailers.
Yeah, let's do what Jim Davis absolutely never did and hone our craft a little before we tackle this.
Look, I couldn't draw the same cat twice, let alone thousands and thousands of times, so give the man a bit of credit.
I mean, at this point, he's definitely just like copy pasting stuff together in Illustrator, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's still drawing Garfield by hand every time anymore.
Yeah, no, he's got an intern who knows how to do Photoshop for him, and he just sits in his big bathtub and he just screams. He says, "This time the cat was mean about trees." And then the intern's like, "All right, well, I guess we got to figure that out." Control F tree and make sure he's drawn one already.
Yep. Hey, Jim, you never drew a tree. All right, just bring it in. Tree. You got water all over this. Use it. Print it.
Just splashing around this stuff. I'm a big baby. I don't like to draw. Baby's
I hate
in
the
his
cat.
bath
I hate
time.
my life. I'm Jim Davis.
I hate the terrible cat, but I love my wet room. Keep telling you, Jim, it's called a bathtub. I love the tiny wet room. Just looking over some trailers here. These all look just so boring. Let's do Skyscraper, how about?
Okay.
Starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
His legal middle name.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, Phil, we got options because we have Trailer 2, and Big Game Spot.
Ooh, I don't know. Big Game Spot's only 45 seconds. Oh, God, but Trailer 2 is over 3 minutes. Jeez, oh, Pietsies. Yeah, let's just play that Big Game Spot.
All right.
I love how vague that is. What big game? What spot?
The big one.
Look, the big sports is going to be on, and we want them to see our big, tall movie.
Yep.
All right, yeah, let's watch that Big Game Spot. Or maybe they just play this one at GameSpot.
GameSpot is not a place.
No,
You're
they play
thinking of
this trailer
GameStop. It's a store that only exists to just play the trailer, a 45-second trailer for the July 13, 2018 film Skyscraper, starring Dwayne Johnson. Why they called GameSpot? Who knows? There's no games there, just Skyscraper. Slowed down pop song cover. Check.
Oh, nope, I don't want to watch that again. No, thank you.
Oh, I just started it. Were you watching it that whole time?
Yeah, I was watching it the whole time you were talking.
God damn it. I was waiting.
I'll let you finish it. It won't take long. It's only 45. It's only a Big Game Spot long.
Yeah, it's almost over. He's already doing the big jump.
So I don't, from that, based on that Big Game Spot, didn't really give me any information about what movie is about, why he jumped at Skyscraper.
His family's in there.
And he hates them and wants to destroy the building.
No, building on fire. Nev Campbell and his child inside. He got to get them out.
I like the idea that this is just sort of a backdoor sequel to Rampage, and instead of huge monsters, it's just the one man, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, doing his best to bash up a big building that contains his hated family.
The very large crocodile did bite off his leg, so now he has a prosthetic one, and now he just wants to beat up this big building.
Yeah, the crocodile sort of werewolf style has instilled in him through its bite its hatred of human buildings. And so Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's not a big gorilla or wolf creature, but he does hate the building very badly and is going to do everything in his power to tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a lot of him like punching I-beams.
It takes him a while.
It takes him a really long, it's a lifelong project, but he will destroy the building and he will kill his family.
It's kind of like how, before like the modern times, if you wanted to build a really big thing, it took like hundreds of years and several generations of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be that way for the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson family. They're all slowly, over the course of generations, going to punch the building into rubble.
Yeah, and finally one of them, he's got he's got super fancy triangle-shaped future sunglasses on and a really shiny silver collarless shirt. And you see him just like throw one punch. He's like, finally. And then he lays down on his back and crosses his arms over his chest like a Dracula. And then the building collapses down around him.
Yep. And then his son is like, well, now what do I do?
Well, no, then so we pan out, right? We've got this big sort of like big sweeping shot, and we pan out from the building. And you see that society has in fact collapsed, and it was the last building left.
Oh, because
And now,
the Dwayne the Rock Johnsons at this point have spread to all corners of the earth, punching the buildings so good.
mm-hmm. I also like the idea that the descendants of Dwayne the Rock Johnson, sort of like how for most people your descendants keep your last name and then you switch around the first name. You switch that first name on them. I like the idea that they're all Dwayne Johnsons, but their middle moniker is just different objects. So
yes,
this is,
and here the lowest member of the family, Dwayne the fluffy decorative pillow Johnson.
yes, this is my goddaughter, Dwayne the painting of a bush Johnson.
Ah, yes, the patriarch of the Dwayne Johnson clan, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
He's not really an object.
He is now. Phil, once you die, you become an object.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
The prodigal son returns, Dwayne Tiny Novelty Hand Johnson.
Ah, it's my most hated cousin, Dwayne Fine China Johnson.
The opposite of a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just still called Skyscraper too.
Yep.
Shall we fix another? That one was easy.
Yep. Nailed
We're
that
getting
one.
Too good at this.
Yeah, Phil, you're right. A lot of these just look very boring.
Yeah, they don't look great. There is something here called Another Soul. We could always do that one. Horror movies or trailers are usually a nice, tasty feast for us to dine on.
Ah, I see. Okay, yes, let's try that one out.
Ghosts always be possessing folks.
Uh-huh. Except not. Sometimes they just, like, move furniture around into weird patterns.
Yeah, I guess. That's, yeah. Hey, look, this ghost moves this chair, and when we put it back, ghost moves the chair.
Oops.
Hey, you know what? I wanted the chair there, and you keep moving it back. How about I'm just you now, and then I can put chair wherever I want. A lot of sort of satanic imagery present in the poster for this movie that wasn't really represented in the trailer.
No, trailer just seemed to be about a ghost, about a dead girl who possesses a living girl because her dumb dad gave her a haunted necklace.
Stupid dad. Idiot father.
Really, though, what kind of logic is that? Hey, I found this on the ground in a spooky basement where there were loud noises. It's yours now.
I found this creepy locket directly in the center of a cold spot in the basement of the old insane asylum. I glued your face on it. Nothing bad will happen.
I have never once given someone a present that I just found on the ground. Not once.
I knew that you would really treasure this, Dwayne, the old creepy locket Johnson.
Okay, so our fix is it's just the last movie still.
Yeah, it's still that one. It's sort of like a Cloverfield situation where this movie isn't necessarily related to that one in plot, but it does take place in the same universe.
Where everyone is a Dwayne Johnson.
Everyone's a Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, it's after his presidency, and he's declared by fiat that everyone must be named Dwayne, insert object here, Johnson.
Oh, my stupid dad, Dwayne Flannel Shirts from Walmart Johnson, gave me a haunted locket.
No, there's ghost in me. What if instead she was haunted by the ghost of Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I think that would just be like a fun buddy movie.
Yeah, I like the idea. I mean, that's a movie, right? So even if it's not Dwayne The Rock Johnson, there's a teen girl inhabited by an evil satanic demon or spirit, and she's the new rookie cop on the beat. And then the old veteran who doesn't. Every one of my partners dies. I don't even want no partner, but I gotta show you the ropes. Please. Rule number 1: police work. Don't spin your head around vomit in my police car.
Can I tweak that slightly?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if there's a new rookie cop on the force and she's paired up with an old grizzled veteran, And the old guy is like, I don't want to show no new kid the ropes. I'm just 2 days away from retirement. And then he gets shot in the head, and then his corpse is possessed by an evil spirit who like has to pose as the old veteran in the cop force, but actually doesn't know anything about police work. So the rookie does not get any good lessons.
Yeah, they're at the crime scene and there's a lot of blood splatter, right? And the rookie's like, so I guess I kind of got this in training in at police academy, but like I don't know how to do it like on the streets, like like how to really apply this. But like, how do we analyze the blood spatter to find out like the direction that the victim was shot from? And then the old cop is like, drink the blood.
He's just licking it off the ground like a cat with spilled milk.
Nom, 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 nom.
But like he does always find the criminal because he is a demon. So like drinking the blood does tell him who murdered that person.
Yeah, he slurps up all the blood and then throws his head back and opens his mouth and like hideous smoke billows out of it. And then they're transported to where the killer is. And then the demon high-fives them because demons love murder.
And the rookie just has to like figure out how to explain in the police report what they did to find the killer, because obviously she can't write like transported there by magic demon smoke, and so she never gets any credit either. The demon gets all the credit.
Typical.
Because in all her police reports she just has to be like, yeah, Sheriff McOldcop just like had a really good hunch and we went somewhere and they were the bad guy. He's so good at his job.
Well, I like kind of like the idea that she doesn't understand that he's a demon and is very earnestly just trying to replicate his methods because she does believe that it's just regular police work.
Oh, okay. Not even she's onto it. Okay.
No, she's at the next crime scene, like just licking up some like brain pieces and skull fragments. She's like, "Is this good? Like this? Is this how we do it?"
Yes.
It's not. We haven't teleported there yet. Keep trying. And it's called the Yuck Police. What they're doing is really yucky. The tagline is, "Ew, that's gross." James, that was not that funny.
I was just not at anywhere near the direction I thought it was going to go. That caught me really off guard.
Oh man. Wow. We 2 for 2, dog.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. No China salesmen's this week. We're swooshing every basket.
Yep.
Wow, cool. I feel, I'm putting my arms above my head and out to the sides. And above my head and out to the sides. And I'm turning my neck in an exaggerated way. And I'm feeling very limber and loosey-goosey. I think I'm ready to eat that big old tray of microwave lasagna.
No, Phil, like 3 trays.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to cook them first because I'm a stupid cat.
Who doesn't know how microwaves work.
Yeah, so let's repair the film Garfield. The universally reviled film Garfield that is very, very bad. It's a bad one.
It's so bad that Bill Murray has to make up lies about why he was in it.
What? What lies?
You've never heard Bill Murray's bullshit story?
No.
So one of the screenwriters of this movie is named Joel Cohen.
Oh, yeah, you thought it was a Coen Brothers movie?
Yeah, which, 1, no you didn't. 2, even if you did, 3 lines of this script would have told you it wasn't. And 3, that doesn't explain why you did the sequel, Bill.
Yeah. I mean, this time, though, it's for real the Coen Brothers.
Yeah, this time it actually was the Coen Brothers.
No, it's more just like, hey, here's 10 huge sacks of money. Go sit in a room, for a few hours a day saying things like, boy, I love lasagna and the black-eyed peas.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's $10 million.
It was nice to know that even in 2004, the Black Eyed Peas were still trash sellouts who would appear in the Garfield movie.
Yeah, the cat, the big orange cat loves the bad music. That was actually, what just to get into one of my ideas here is there was sort of like a bad culture, like terrible culture within terrible culture,
Mm-hmm.
like sort of an Ouroboros of bad media.
Yeah.
So I had an idea for like it's like Ready Player One, but it's just of terrible things.
Okay, just all the like cultural debris, all the forgotten bullshit from over the years.
Yeah, it's like I want to jack on into the VR zone. I have not read or seen Ready Player One. I want to jack onto the VR zone and hang out with all of my best friends, Garfield, but only from the movie, and
The Street
Fergie
Sharks.
and the Street Sharks. Yeah, I want to kick it here with all of my friends from Jiggly, and the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
But still, again, just
But
the movie
still
version.
only the movie. I'm not aware of the books, and I wouldn't like them if I read them.
I have so many Neopets.
I feel like we've cycled around on Neopets to where now they're good, actually.
Yeah, as someone who spent a lot of time on Neopets in the early 2000s, I can say unequivocally that Neopets were not good.
I thought the mini games were supposed to be good. Wasn't that why everyone played?
I mean, yeah, but the mini games are all just like Neopet reskins of like Snake or Pong or Frogger or whatever.
2 of those already have pets in them.
Is the snake your pet in Snake, or are you the
You're-
snake?
No, it's a game about how to feed your pet snake. That was the
Make
original
him
title,
big and
but
strong.
it was too long for didn't have all the bytes to store it on those old consoles, so they shortened it to Snake. But the
And on
original
those
title was
calculators.
How to Feed Your Pet Snake: an educational game experience featuring Snake,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it was Solid Snake.
I was just gonna say that. Goddamn.
Just Solid
Yeah,
Snake.
little
just
do
eating
people know that
crumbs.
that's actually the first Metal Gear game. Is Snake.
It is the game Snake. And it's just a little larval Solid Snake, and you got to feed him up, grow him up real big into a big, beefy man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's just a solid snake. All snakes are solid snake larvae, but most of them don't eat enough to evolve until the next form.
Which is the big eye patch wearing boy Snake from Metal Gear.
Yeah. Well, what do you have, James? Give me an idea.
Right off the bat, this should be obvious, but how about Garfield minus Garfield movie?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That is obvious because Garfield minus Garfield are the comics where Garfield is removed from Garfield, and it's just like Garfield, but there's no Garfield.
Yeah.
So is now in the comics, Garfield's not there at all, right? Because do they just remove his thought bubbles? Because I've seen ones where just
they
his
removed
thought
the
bubbles are
cat
gone.
too.
Okay, so it's just Jamie Kennedy, or whoever. Who was it in this
Breckin
movie?
Meyer.
Breckin Meyer. Breckin Meyer sounds like a name on a package of hot dogs.
Just some
so
good Breckin Meyer wieners.
love me some BRECKMEYERS hot dogs are for me. I don't know if that made sense on any level because that's not the Oscar Mayer song, and I don't think
Nope.
I spelled Breckenmeyer right. I think I
No,
left
you
a
just
lot
said
of letters out.
Breckmeyer.
Anyway, yeah, so it's just Breckenmeyer just running around his apartment yelling at nobody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Jennifer
Going
Love
crazy.
Hewitt's there, and she's deeply concerned.
Yeah, very. Because Odie's not real either.
Oh, really?
So he's
So
just running up
hanging
to
out
her
at the
like,
vet?
yeah. Hey, I brought my cat in again. Isn't he wonderful?
He's always eating my lasagna.
His face and clothes are just smeared with lasagna. He's always eating my lasagna. I don't know what happens to it. I go through so much lasagna. He weighs like 300 pounds because he's only eating lasagna.
My terrible
And he's
cat
just
is eating
cramming
all of my
lasagna in his
foods.
face going, Garfield, stop eating the lasagna.
Turning into more of a Monty Python sketch at this point.
Also, pretty much the same movie, just take out the other characters, but how about a movie adaptation of that Garfield storyline from the 80s where Garfield realizes that John and Odie have been dead the whole time and he's been hallucinating them and living in an abandoned house?
We've talked about this on this podcast before, haven't we?
We have. And last time you didn't believe me that it was real, and it is 100% real. Because I think at some point in the 80s, Jim Davis was just like, fuck it, I gotta do something. I hate it. I'm gonna go crazy. I have to do something. No one's paying attention to this shit I put in this comic anymore. I'm gonna go ham crazy. And then he got that out of his system and was like, okay, now I can sell the cat to be a mascot for store brand ice cream sandwiches and make all the money.
Store brand ice cream sandwiches. Delicious.
Yes.
So I have two kind of similar ideas here, both of which are I guess come from the same broken part of my brain. So in this movie, it's a human man in a real world hanging out with a CGI'd feline cat.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Caitlin Major's comic Manfred the Man?
No.
It's about there's cats and the cats are big and anthropomorphized and like do human stuff and work on the computer and stuff like that. And then instead of cats, they have tiny little nude bearded men who run around and do cat things like rub their faces on them or like try to hunt mice or, like knock things off of tables.
Yeah.
And it's really funny to me. And I would want to keep the human John, but I like the idea of instead of Garfield, it's just a tiny CGI'd nude man running around getting into hijinks.
Like one of the boys from Time for Sushi?
Yeah, but small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not necessarily proportional.
Mm-hmm.
And John's like, hey, you can't eat the lasagna. And then you see that's the tiny nude bearded man just scrummaging around inside of the human food.
Just chunks of lasagna all up in that beard.
Yeah. And he doesn't
covered
talk.
in cheese and sauce.
He's a dum-dum like a regular cat.
Yeah.
Loves to sit in boxes. Oh, that my little man, if there's a box, he'll get in it.
And pee on it.
Kind of along those same lines, I almost exactly the same actually. It's just I wanted like a CGI Andy Capp movie. Andy Capp. He's always going into bars and hitting on ladies, but his wife drags him home. And he has a hat over his eyes.
Oh, yes. Yes. I didn't know he had a name, but I do know who he is.
Yeah, so old comic strip, but just so basically the same premise, but it's like a human man, like a John Arbuckle or like a Jason Lee from the Chipmunks movies, and he adopts a little Andy Capp and this little CGI guy, but all he wants to do is get drunk and fuck. Always raiding the liquor cabinet and humping people's legs. And he's just a nasty little fucker.
Or no, I'm sorry. Wait, let me do that again in my Jason Lee from the Chipmunks movie impression. Andy!
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
The idea of a really nasty little CGI man who's someone's pet is really, really funny to me on a very deep level.
It's gotta be like Kyle Kinane looking guy or something.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Andy, I told you to quit fucking the couch cushions. Andy, quit drinking scotch. You're going to throw up in the yard again.
Yeah, that's pretty
good. Did you ever
see
that episode of Todd and the Book of Pure Evil where they make the
little homunculus Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I have in mind. What else you got?
I had a lot of like parallel ideas where like on this one where I would have an idea and then basically the same idea but slightly different. So a lot of these are going to come in pairs.
Sure.
Here's one that didn't though. How about a movie where everyone is terrified of the giant, hideous, deformed orange cat that can talk?
Okay.
Because they have a CGI Garfield in this movie who they do their level best to make look like Garfield from the comics that we all know.
Mm-hmm.
But all the other animals in this movie are just regular animals.
Yeah.
Who just look normal, and Garfield looks terrifying next to them. And no one questions this.
It's a real uncanny valley.
Yeah. So yeah, how about a movie where there's just like a big, fat, giant-eyed monster of a cat who's always talking about how he hates Mondays and loves lasagna, but everybody is just like, what?
Somebody kill it with a rock.
Someone light it on fire. Burn it with fire. It's the only way it can die.
Counterpoint to that, every nasty, weird-looking, ugly cat in the world gets famous on Instagram.
That's an excellent point.
I mean, Garfield is the original grumpy cat.
That's not a bad idea for a movie. Garfield becomes insta-famous.
Yeah, and John always just poses him and puts him in little outfits.
Yep.
But then another cat, kind of gets obsessed with his Instagram feed and thinks that the ways that Garfield presents himself online represent his real life and the potential for true happiness. So that other cat moves out to live with Garfield and try and, usurp him and imitate his ways.
Like that Aubrey Plaza movie you told me to watch?
Correct. Like that one,
Yeah.
but with kitties.
But with Garfield.
Little kitty cats.
And the main character is obviously Nermal? Is that the dumb lame cat's name?
No, it's Aubrey Plaza in a cat outfit.
But her character's name is Nermal. She is Nermal from Garfield.
I think her name is just like just Tiffany or something.
Okay.
Just a regular gal, but really wants to be an Instagram cat real bad.
Okay, that's pretty good.
On that Nermal tip, I thought Nermal was a little kitten and was a girl in the comics. But in this movie, Nermal's just kind of a dumb adult male.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because isn't Nermal's whole thing that, like, Nermal is cuter than Garfield, and so everyone loves Nermal, and Garfield hates Nermal because Garfield wants all the pets?
Correct.
Yeah, Nermal in this movie didn't do that.
I got an idea here. It's there's a mouse in this movie that's friends with Garfield.
Voiced by Nick Cannon, yes.
And and deliberately like runs out and gets seen by John, knowing that Garfield will have to put him in his mouth after that.
Yeah.
So I got my idea here is called Vormouse. And it's
The
about
mouse
a
that
mouse
gets off on being eaten by cats.
Yeah, he can only really achieve sexual arousal if he's gobbled up by bigger creatures. And it's a real dangerous game that he's playing.
But usually, as long as he comes in their mouth, they spit him right back out.
Yeah, they spin him right back out. So it's a win-win for him. He gets in there and he finishes, and they're like, yuck, why'd you make it weird?
God, I just wanted food, and you had to turn it into a sex thing.
But then I think, the tables are turned once he discovers a cat who is sexually aroused by eating a mouse, and then the real game of cat and mouse begins.
Mm-hmm,
and that game is sex, and they love each other.
Right.
And I think it would be called something like A Game of Cat and Mouse, and it's all in cursive, and then
Yeah.
the cover design is just like, a really saturated picture of like an ornate doorknob or something, like really coy, like a erotic movie that would do well at Sundance.
Oh, it's time for our recurring segment. Give him your worst, like, fourth or fifth, because I forgot to give my worst idea first.
Love that segment. Love the segment. Give him your worst sometime in the middle. Can you sing me that theme song that we all love?
Give him your worst sometime in the middle of the thing, so it gets buried and no one notices it.
Badoo badoo boop.
By far my worst idea. Bill Murray in a biopic about President James A. Garfield, but the movie can't stop pointing out that Bill Murray also played Garfield the cat.
So just like a lot of like winking references, like directly to the camera.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, Mr. President, I have no idea anything that happened during Garfield's administration. Oh, Mr.
It
President,
was quite brief.
There's the war with Canada has been going on for too long, and he just looks at the camera and he's like, oh, man, I hate Mondays. Wink.
Why, sir? We have not invented the weekend yet. It's history times. Somebody's running into the Oval Office. They're like, Mr. President, big news. There's been it premiered at the World's Fair. It's a hot new dish from the country of faraway Italy. It's called a lasagna. And he looks directly at the camera. He's like, I got a feeling I'm going to like this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go on Wikipedia and look up President Garfield and see what kind of jokes we can make about his accomplishments. He was president for less than a year because he did get murdered.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So he gets shot by Charles Guiteau, and then he's like, man, I hate Mondays.
Yeah. This is presidential assassinations are the real grumpy cat. So Garfield conducted a low-key front porch campaign in the 1880 election. So in this one, he's like, man, I really like, does your porch have a cat door? Because I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in it.
Phil, I have to tell you that I did look up what day of the week September 19th, 1881 was, the day Garfield died. And it was a Monday.
It was not a Monday.
It was a Monday.
Oh, man, oh, Pete's. Is Garfield the orange cat the reincarnated spirit of the late assassinated president, James A. Garfield?
I think we've stumbled onto something, Phil.
Oh, it's nesting Garfields.
Maybe Jim Davis is just a big, big history buff, and that was his subtle nod to the comic's origins.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim Davis was really the Cardi B of his time. Because she's a big presidential history buff. That's why I say that. Mm-hmm. You read that GQ interview, I'm sure.
I did.
I got an idea here, and it's so Odie in this movie dances real good.
Yes.
And everyone loved Odie dancing, and it is wicked cute.
Yeah.
So and he just kind of runs around and does it. Like he gets loose. There's a dog show and he gets loose and he's like, hello, it's me. I'm dancing. Everyone applaud. Mm-hmm. So I had an idea for it's like Forrest Gump, but with just a dancing dog.
Who just sweeps the nation, becomes like a phenomenon, and then is present for a bunch of historical events.
Present for and also like crucial to a bunch of big historical events. Mm-hmm, it's like it's the 1980s and the Berlin Wall's coming down, and Dancing Dog is the one who dances on the wall and knocks loose the first piece of stone. Everyone else is like, "Yes, we're doing it.
Yes, it's
Thank
finally
you, Dancing
happening."
Dog.
Yes,
and it's like at the JFK assassination. He's up on the grassy knoll and he's just like dancing across the street and like accidentally dances onto a sniper rifle and does kill the president.
Yeah. It is in the Watergate Hotel, and there's a security guard wandering around, and then he spies the cute dancing dog just dancing through the hallways, and he's like, dog, and he follows it until he finds that door where they left those pieces of tape.
Mm-hmm. It's the moon landing. He's there.
He's just in space. That's one small step for man, and one adorable little spin for puppies.
Oh, he jumps so high in the lower gravity. Yeah, and I think maybe on the way to the moon, Neil deGrasse Tyson and Lance Armstrong, they got lost, and they're like, we
I like
can't
that
even.
You did 2 jokes on Neil Armstrong.
I could have done Buzz Lightyear, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck it. They're lost. They're like, where is even moon? We screwed up the Buzz. You get the maps upside down. We're heading in there. We were going to go into Earth, but then there's a dog. He's dancing and he's leading us there. He's leading the way. He's got an adorable little glass space helmet on.
Yeah. Odie doesn't talk in this movie?
Does he talk in the comics?
No, but in the comics, there aren't a bunch of other dogs that talk, so I think the implication is that Odie is a dumb dog, so he doesn't talk.
Oh.
But there's a bunch of dogs in this movie that 100% do talk, and just not Odie. So, movie about talking animals, but it's about the one animal who can't talk.
Interesting.
It's about the only animal left, like let's say it's a dog, and all the other animals are like, hey bud, what's up? How you doing? You want to go down to the coffee shop? And he's just like, and you're like, okay.
Just a Pluto in a sea of goofies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm a Pluto in a big old goofy world.
And it is called Pluto in a Goofy World.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to that, movie about an animal that can talk to people, but not to other animals.
Oh, interesting. So humans can understand them, but they're sort of like an outcast amongst their own kind.
Right, because every movie about talking animals, all the animals can understand humans and each other. So what
Hmm.
about an animal who can just understand humans? So, it's like a bear out in the woods with a bunch of other bears, and for the first, chunk of his life, he's very lonely because he's just constantly like, whew, boy, guys, I'm getting real sick of berries and salmon every night, am I right? And all the other bears are just like, "Moo." He's like, I'm so alone. And then he meets some friendly people. He's like, hey, guys, how you doing? And they run away screaming because he is a big talking bear. And he doesn't
Hmm.
quite fit into either world, and it's very sad.
Yeah, he's kind of like Caesar from Rise of the Planet of the Apes or
Yeah,
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or whichever one comes first.
yeah, it's Rise.
Um, is the is the bear sexually attracted to other bears or to human beings?
Ooh, interesting.
Because either way, you're
Maybe,
negotiating some tricky waters.
yeah,
Because if you were a hyper intelligent talking bear, and you were but still sexually attracted to other bears, how would you ever know if they were consenting to your bear, advances?
yeah. Maybe it's maybe it's almost like like a sexual awakening for him because he's been banging bears his whole life just because that's what's been around. And also, like, he's a bear. He's supposed to fuck other bears, but, like, none of the
Hmm.
bears understand him. And then he does meet a human being who does understand him. And they grow very close, and he realizes that he wanted to be banging people this whole time.
Yeah, I just want to. I fucked up. I should have been fucking human men. And I think it's 2018, and like the way the internet's going, like that bear would do just fine.
Yep.
A lot of people want to fuck monsters and animals and all sorts of stuff. I think that bear just puts, hey, it's me, Doug Bear, 17 years old, greater North American black bear, just on Grinder. I think you get a lot of swipes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I got an idea here. So in this movie, there's a human man who has a pet cat who is sort of CGI and anthropomorphized and talks to him.
Yes.
But then that pet cat also has a stuffed bear that he talks to,
Yes.
named like Pookie or something.
Yeah.
So I had an idea for sort of like an inception of anthropomorphized pets, where like each layer down we see the like CGI realization of the person's imagined companion, and it just gets
Mm-hmm.
like kind of weirder and more abstract the further you go. So like John's talking to Garfield, Garfield could walk around and talk, and then we get Garfield's perspective, and he's talking to Pookie the bear, and Pookie the bear is anthropomorphized, but not quite as fully formed.
Mm-hmm.
Still just a stuffed animal.
Right.
One step further removed from reality and human concepts, and then we see Pookie and his perspective, whatever the fuck his imaginary friend is, probably maybe a big old dust bunny,
Yeah.
or just like the concept of darkness.
And the dust bunny just talks in like loud static.
Yes. Yeah, and the edges of the screen kind of fuzz up whenever we're focused on it. And Pookie's
Mm-hmm.
always saying, responding to the dust bunny, because Pookie can understand. He's like, no, don't hurt them. They friends.
Right.
Don't hurt my friends. And then we see the dust bunny's perspective and their imaginary friend, and it's just abstract concepts and
Mm-hmm.
flashes of color and maybe like quick shots of like eyeballs getting sliced open and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Something dark and shadowy just in the peripheral of the screen.
Yeah, the thing that cannot be seen but sees all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it kind of does it. So the plot kind of like bookends where like it starts with John's story and John talks to Garfield, and then we transition to Garfield's story, and then it goes to Pookie's, and then it goes to the Dust Bunnies, and then it goes to the Dark Monster, and then that story resolves, and then Pookie's story resolves, and then Garfield's story resolves, and then finally John's story resolves.
And John's story resolves by him being consumed finally and mercifully by the darkness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He finally sees all the layers,
Yeah, he sees all of it.
and it's horrifying.
Like some from beyond shit.
Yeah.
So that's an idea.
I don't know why I wrote this down, but I did write down talking animal Shakespeare, which seems obvious, but I don't think has been done ever.
It has been. It's called Lion King.
Right. Yeah. Um, oh, my last one was just CGI animals versus regular animals, there's just a lot of discrimination and hatred between those two groups. Because the regular
Yeah.
animals, this is kind of similar to that everybody is terrified of the big scary Garfield. But the regular animals just don't like these big-eyed, sarcastic, quippy monsters running around talking like people and not pissing all over the fire hydrants.
Maybe it's like a Hollywood slice of life thing, and all the regular animals are starting to lose all their roles that they used to get as actors to these newfangled CGI creations.
Like a Roger Rabbit kind of scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So they do get together and decide to slaughter every one of them.
Yeah, yeah. Now, so in Roger Rabbit, the toons are destroyed with like turpentine that dissolves their ink and paint, because toons are literally made out of ink and paint. So what are the CGI animals made out of, and what is their kryptonite?
I think that the regular animals just have to kill Andy Serkis.
Because he's like half of them.
He's mocapped all of them.
Yeah.
And they find out that he's the one responsible, and they decide that they need to bring him down. But he's also like sort of like a powerful necromancer where he can control all of his creations independently. And so they do have to get through all of his disgusting animal-like soldiers before they can finally get him and mercifully end his reign.
Okay, I like that. I do also like the idea, though, that the animals just decide this independently, and Andy Serkis is just Andy Serkis, and he's unaware.
Not so at all related to him.
So one day he just opens his door, and there's like a Noah's Ark of all the different animals he's taken jobs from who are sick of his shit.
They're all holding knives.
Yeah, and then it's like a You're Next, where Andy Serkis is locked in his house just trying to fend off all these wild animals coming in and trying to murder him for taking their jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's very good. Andy Serkis, of course, plays himself.
Well, yeah, and also most of the animals.
Yeah, and every one of the animals. Actually, no, only the real animals, not the CGI ones.
Those are Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that's all Benny Cumbybo. I've got one last idea here, and so this movie is about a pet who's very mean to him owner.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought we'd just take that to the next, sort of to its logical conclusion. So the idea I wrote down was whatever happened to Puppy Jane.
Okay.
And so it's, whatever happened to Baby Jane?
I think.
Except it's a dog. But the human is the one. The human is the Baby Jane.
So it's about a dog. Okay, you're gonna have to lay this out for me, because I don't know what the fuck did you just do?
Blew an ant off the screen of my phone.
Oh.
So in whatever happened to Baby Jane, it's is Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. And
Right.
Bette Davis is like this former child star who's like aging and like left in a wheelchair and stuff. And Joan Crawford is caring for her, but is like horribly emotionally abusive and like cruel, and keeps her locked up and torments her and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that, except instead of Bette Davis, it's John Arbuckle, and instead of Joan Crawford, it's like a dog or something.
It's Garfield. Yeah.
It's Garfield. Yeah.
Okay.
And Garfield torments him terribly.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't change his colostomy bag.
Right. Pushes his wheelchair down the stairs.
He's wildly malnourished because Garfield only ever makes lasagna.
Yeah, and eats the lasagna directly in front of him and taunts him with it.
Mm-hmm. And just gives him the scraps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, Garfield just makes him eat his hairballs later.
Ugh. When I cough up my own hair with maybe some nutritious lasagna pieces in there, maybe you can have one of those.
If you can get it off the floor.
Idiot. Human idiot.
Here, John, I brought you a chocolate bar. Ha, it's my poo. Eat it. Eat it.
Eat the poo.
It's
Eat my doo-doo bar.
Get this week, John.
So anyway, that's my last idea. A lot of these are really dark this week.
I feel like they had to be in response to this fucking movie.
This movie did open up a well of darkness inside of me.
Mm-hmm. As Garfield has in people for generations, including Jim Davis.
Yeah. You got anything else?
Nope.
Well, what do you think? Did any of those really speak to you? I feel like we were skewed a little bit more towards funny ideas and less towards workable movie concepts.
Yeah. Well, look, the movie we're fixing was barely a workable movie concept, so maybe that's fitting.
That's a solid point.
Um, I really like both our Andy Serkis ideas.
What were the two? One where he's evil and one where he's just an unwitting victim of the animals.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I do like that. I think I like the nesting imaginary friend concept, but I don't know if we can work that one into an actual movie.
Yeah. I also like our bear on Bumble idea.
Oh yeah, Grinder Bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Grinder Bear.
Man, yeah, those are both really good. Well, let's do the Andy Serkis one.
Which one?
Let's do the one where So it's the same core concept, by the way, right? Like all the animal actors are losing all their work because of mocapped CGI animal creations.
Mm-hmm.
And the CGI animal creations, much like Roger Rabbit, are actually kind of real and do manifest in our world, but are also mocapped like performances of Andy Serkis.
Right.
I like the one. I like the idea of Andy Serkis being maybe like not a great guy and kind of like whenever you see actors play themselves in movies, like they're always like shitty Hollywood douches or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like that. He's a real kind of just like doesn't care what he's doing to the animal job market.
Yeah.
And the CGI creations are a little bit more maybe insidious and real gross and rowdy, like Meet the Feebles style.
Right.
So then I think the animals do have to just sort of independently start up murdering all of the CGI creations, but new ones keep popping up. And so they find out it's like, oh, it's this man. He's the one creating them. And that's when they confront him. And he's like, sorry, guys, I didn't know. And they're like, you didn't know because you didn't care. But you'll care about this. And then a gerbil with a knife in its mouth jumps at his face.
Ugh! Yeah. And his Bluetooth earpiece falls out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And some of the little tennis balls fall off of his head.
Yeah. Yep.
He can only wear that little green tennis ball outfit in this movie. He never wears regular clothes.
They caught him like on the job, and now he's on the run in his goofy tennis ball outfit with all the dots on his face.
Yeah, or he just doesn't wear anything else. So we see him like at home watching TV eating a piece of pizza, and he's got it on.
Why change out of it? 18 hours of my day in it. Why change out of it?
Old Andy Serkis is always ready.
I smell very, very bad.
Fortunately, smells don't get mocapped. You can quote me on
Yet.
that. And then he looks at the camera. It's like, yet. Okay, yeah. So, should we have like a sort of a core group of animal characters?
So the main one's
cat.
definitely a chimp.
A chimp, a cat, a dog, and wildcard animal.
Unicorn.
Nope, they don't make those.
But it's a horse with a horn glued on his head.
I think it's a horse who had a horn permanently glued onto his head so he could always be the first pick for those coveted unicorn roles.
But now Andy Serkis is getting them.
Yeah, and so now
they just made the big My Little Pony live action adaptation, and Andy Serkis is playing all of them.
Oh man. I got a fucking tattoo of a strawberry on my ass to be in this role. And you give it to a human man walking on all fours.
This is bullshit.
Like I'm sorry. Ed. But every time we hire you, we got to hire a voice actor also. It's just cheaper.
I'm talking to you right now, Barry.
Yeah, but you know how the culture is with the Screen Actors Guild and like, man, it's just it's who you know. I fucking know you. I know you.
Yeah, also, there's no My Little Pony with a strawberry cutie mark, so why did you get that tattooed? I don't know, I was just trying something.
It's my OC.
I can be a new character.
I was gonna play my own My Little Pony OC. Her name is Sparkleberry, and her favorite thing to do is, I don't fucking know, man. It's for kids. It doesn't matter.
See, it's that kind of attitude why we went with Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis watched every episode of every series of My Little Pony in preparation for this role, and you can't even be bothered to get the right fucking tattoo, Ed.
And then Ed the horse stabs the agent with their horn, and
Yep.
that's when the animals are like, oh shit, now shit is real.
Now it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a unicorn. It's a chimp, a cat, a dog, and a unicorn.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it sounds like the unicorn is sort of like the Gil from Simpsons of this group. Like they're like the older performer who's like trying every trick in the book to stay relevant, but like just keeps getting shit on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the chimp is maybe like our charismatic leader.
He was the hot up and comer whose career has come crashing down because of Andy Serkis.
Yeah, they were the hot young thing, and then Andy Serkis just ruined it for them. I think that the dog is maybe like what's another character type we could put in there? So we've got the kind of the sad old timer trying to desperately stay relevant, the new hot young shit, sort of the Hansel who's been displaced by Andy Serkis.
The cat is just the bloodthirsty one who's just in it for the murder.
Yeah, they didn't like acting anyway, and actually stopped getting roles because they kept attacking their handlers.
Yeah.
But the other ones roped them in because like they know how to kill, like they've got the thirst for blood.
And I think the dog is the one who like they're down on their luck, and they joined the cause because like it's a real issue, but once things turn violent, like the dog is the one who's kind of like, okay, maybe this wasn't the way to handle this. I do like the humans. They do give me pets and treats.
Yeah, the dog's real dumb.
Yeah.
The dog is less concerned with the decrease in the availability of jobs and more concerned with the decrease in availability of rubs that they were rewarded with for working.
Yeah.
The dog's heart has been broken. Like everyone else is a little more mercantile, but the dog's like honestly like, why do they love cartoon Sparkle Puppy now instead of me? I don't understand. I'm a very, very good dog.
Yeah, I'm a very fluffy boy.
Yeah. And then the cat's like, he's going to turn on us. We can't trust him. We have to put him down. But then the chimp kind of goes and talks to the dog and is like, look, I know you're feeling squeamish, but you're in for a penny. You're in for a pound. Pound? I hate the pound. Get it? Because it's a dog.
No, look.
It's a dog. They don't like the pound is the joke.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yes. I like that. And then our villain, of course, is terrible Andy Serkis, but we also need some villainous CGI animal creations.
Okay.
Who are nasty, like horrible, cruel, like just apathetic, shitty CGI things that hate the animals and also hate the humans and like don't care about anything.
Yeah, they just want to make the money. So can it just be the cast of Madagascar?
So you got a penguin,
a lion, a zebra,
a
giraffe, and a hippo.
Okay, so it's just exactly Madagascar. Wouldn't it make more sense if there were actual pets in there?
Nope. Because that to me is the picture of like soulless, just fuck it. Just put some CGI animals on the screen and the kids will like it.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I mean, we do probably have to have sequences of each of the animals killing their own CGI alter ego. So, the cat murders a Garfield and the dog, pushes a show dog into a paper shredder or whatever. And, the horse turns the unicorn into glue.
Yep. And the chimp does kill Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
With a knife.
Yeah. Over and over again.
In the forum.
Yep. The chimp's name is Brutus.
Oh, no, I was going to go the other way with it and have Caesar, as he's dying, be like, "Et tu, Mr. Bubbles."
That's pretty good, too.
All right, should we cast it?
Yeah. I think the Madagascar animals are just Ben Stiller and Chris Rock and David Schwimmer and Jada Pinkett Smith.
Okay, so it is just exactly the Madagascar animals and cast.
Yeah, but they're real shitty and mean and evil.
Okay. And then Andy Serkis is just Andy Serkis?
Yep.
I mean, should we have Andy Serkis voice all of the CGI animals too? Maybe except for that core group of the Madagascar animals, he voices all of the other ones.
But not the real ones.
No, I'm just saying he voices all of the other CGI animals because we're definitely going to have a big CGI animal slaughter montage.
Yeah.
So all of them are voiced by him, but that kind of core group that you described are the Madagascar folks.
Right.
All right, so first up, let's cast our Mr. Bobo the chimp. Movie number 69.
Oof.
You get it?
Yes.
It's like the sex number.
Yep.
The Spy Who Dumped Me. And our performer is Ivana Sakno.
Mr. Bobo.
Mr. Bobo from Pacific Rim and this one.
And the spy film.
Next, shall we cast our unicorn?
Yes.
The real unicorn, not the CGI unicorn.
Right. The real horse with a horn glued on its head.
Mm-hmm. From the movie 50 Shades Freed.
Oh, boy.
You said, oh boy, because you're so excited because you love that movie so much?
Yeah, huh? Yep.
Rita Ora.
What? Rita Ora was in the... What? Okay.
She's in all the 50 Shades movies.
She is? Who does she play?
Mia Gray. I don't know.
Weird. I did not know that.
Well, now she's a unicorn.
She's in it, and also she did the song for the last one.
Sure. She's like the Will Smith of 50 Shades Freed.
Yep. Okay.
Also, she's the Michael Jordan of being a unicorn.
Yeah.
All right, who we casting next?
The dog.
Hell yeah, dog. What's the dog's name?
Baxter.
Baxter the dog.
It is the dog from Anchorman.
Okay. The dog who played the dog in Anchorman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who in real life is probably dead by now, but...
Jeez, James.
Well, it's true.
Way to bring everything down. Oh, sometimes animals die. All right, from the movie Creed 2.
Oh, please.
Florian Munteanu.
Man,
Florian Montano?
Just so many people that I know and am familiar with.
He's a big beefy boy.
He's a professional boxer.
No, well, now he's a dog.
Oh, he's playing Ivan Drago's son in Creed 2.
Ivan Drago.
You proud of that one?
Not proud of any of this.
It's fair.
Let's cast a cat.
Prissy Pants.
Okay, our cat Prissy Pants. Sounds a lot like Pissy Pants, James.
Nope, it's Prissy Pants.
I know what it is, but I'm telling you, it sounds like Pissy Pants.
That's fine.
A joke we could write into the script is a burn, and like the cat could threaten somebody, and the other person could be like, "Oh, okay, Pissy Pants."
Oh yeah, I'm really pissing in my pants.
Like your name.
Pissy Pants. He carves an R into their chest with razor sharp claws.
What's the R stand for?
Doesn't stand for anything. He's just like, you forgot the R. Here it is.
Oh, got it. From the movie Mission Impossible Fallout, it's gonna be Simon Pegg for this one.
Hell yes. That's really good. I would love to see Simon Pegg play a bloodthirsty maniac.
Yeah, honestly couldn't be better.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sort of like kind of similar to his World's End character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
Like a real manic shitbag.
Yep.
Is that it? Anybody else?
Well, most of the rest of it is Andy Serkis and then the cast of
Correct.
Madagascar.
Okay. Should we maybe throw in like a human being who is on the side of the regular animals and like opens doors for them and stuff?
Okay. Yes, because they are they did play a Ninja Turtle, so they're in on the cause.
Yeah, they also understand.
Yeah. They played a Ninja Turtle, but they had like a conversation with some actual turtles afterwards who really enlightened them.
Yeah, about the dangers of turtle face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. From the movie Incredibles 2, our human being is Craig T. Nelson.
Fuck yes! Just playing Craig T. Nelson, I hope.
Yeah, he's just playing himself. Craig T. Nelson, former Ninja Turtle, renowned former Ninja Turtle.
Craig T. Nelson. Oh yeah, I remember after I starred in that Old Man Raphael movie, those turtles. They really gave me a talking to.
Wait, can we delete all of this and make an Old Man Raphael movie?
We can do that when we fix a Ninja Turtles movie.
Ugh, boy howdy. Have they made a bad one, James? They didn't make a bad Ninja Turtles movie.
Everyone but the first one, I think.
What was that cartoon one that we saw in theaters?
TMNT.
That was a good-ass movie.
It's pretty good.
All right, bud. I think we've done it.
I think we fixed it.
You know what, though? We haven't titled this mess.
Oh, Andy's arc of blood and murder.
That is an idea. What about Pets 2, The Revenge? And then Pets is spelled with a Z.
Circus's circus.
Why are you centering
pain.
Andy Serkis in this? He's the villain.
The
Dog and cat and horse and chimp day afternoon.
So it's dog, parentheses, and cat and horse and chimp, parentheses, day afternoon.
Yeah.
It's definitely either that or Circus's circus.
I hate the circus ones. I don't want Andy's Serkis's name to be in the title. It's not about him. We might as well call it like, Nelson's Day Out.
Which I also don't hate.
I want it to be centered on the animals, and I want it to be punchy. I want to be able to walk into a movie theater and see this poster on the wall and be like, "That's a movie about animals," and I'm also intrigued by it.
The Madagascar animals are evil and bad, and then the real animals this time they're gonna be the ones in the movie, and they're gonna win.
Ooh, what about the real animals?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
But animals is spelled with a Z.
Can an animal from the Muppets be in this movie at some point as just like a confused bystander who doesn't know what side he's on?
That was my impersonation of a confused animal from the Muppets.
It wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
Thanks. Thank you. I think it's Animals with a Z and then the number 4 and then Real. This is the title of the movie.
For real animals.
Animals for Real.
Oh, Animals for Real. Okay. Yeah.
And it's also because that works on a couple of levels because it's also about 4 animals.
So
maybe it would make more sense to have it be called 4 Real Animals.
Maybe it's 4 animals for real.
Yes! 4 animals for real. Both of them are number 4s. Animals ends with a Z.
Yep.
Perfect.
Real is REEL because they're in movies.
Oh my God, James. So it's 4 animals for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's spelled with 2 E's.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh man. I think
Nailed
we've
it.
made another hit. I'm going to be
I
honest with
think
you.
so. Too. I think this might be our best one in a very long time.
Those blocks are going to get busted.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all she wrote. Thank you, James.
That's all the murder she wrote. Thank you, Phil.
And now walk me through the decision that led you to say that out loud.
Well, the movie we just made had a whole bunch of murder in it.
Mm-hmm.
You said that's all she wrote.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is broken and thinks of everything in terms of pop culture references. So, of course, She Wrote led me directly to Murder, She Wrote.
So was Angela Lansbury in this one, or did she write it?
She wrote it. Angela Lansbury wrote and directed.
And the intro, the opening credits are just like Murder, She Wrote, with it's Angela Lansbury at her typewriter, and she's typing out. You see her type out the title, and then like, movie lot night, and then it fades. It like fades away into, and we fade into a movie lot at night, and so you sort of see her writing what we're actually seeing on screen. And then when the movie ends, you cut back to Angela Lansbury, and she's at her typewriter, and she types out the end. She hits period. And then as soon as she hits period, you see blood splatter across the page. And then behind her is a cat with a knife, and it stabbed her.
Yep, and it's Prissy Pants.
And it's Prissy Pants, yep. And then the cat looks at the camera and goes, that's all, folks.
And then he licks the blood off the knife.
Mm-hmm. And he's
as
transported
we get a little, I don't know what you call that fade when a circle closes in.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called a Porky Pig.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you for listening. As always,
if you still are.
God. As always, please, rate us and subscribe us on like the Apple Podcasts and the Stitcher and all those other places where you listen to this shit. Helps people see the show. Tell people about the show. If you listen to this podcast and you haven't told anyone about it, why?
What are you doing?
What are you even doing?
Just tell them.
It's a very good podcast. You know that. You've listened to it this far. You didn't immediately turn it off when I said thank you because you care about us. You want to hear more of our voices.
Yeah.
Translate that care into action by telling people about the show.
Please.
Please, for the love of Gord. Thank you to Cusick for use of their song Dragonfly as our theme song. Google them online. I don't know. You can find us on Twitter at Movie Improvie. I'm on Twitter at Phil Stressman. James is on Twitter at Doc Professor Man. Also hit us up on Instagram at Movie Improvie, at movie_improvie rather. But I've been posting shitty movie memes and like more short clips from the podcast there. Anything else?
Do we want to plug the Twitch?
We haven't done anything on it.
Yeah.
Hey, look at keep an eye on our Twitch. We might do something there.
There might be stuff.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, unless there's anything else, I think that's a selling Chinatown.
I think we've become the Chinatown salesman.
We are the Chinatown salesman. We've sold it and you bought it, and that's a wrap.
We are the world. We are the Chinatown salesman.
That was good.
Thank you.
Good way to end the show. Real high note.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye.